I would say, you know, there's a mantra, Jonathan Lerman, in a meditation I do, a guided meditation I do a lot of mornings. And he says, one of the affirmations is cultivate patience and cultivate self-confidence. And it took me a while to understand what he was saying. Well, how is cultivating patience cultivating self-confidence? Well, if I cultivate the patience to be able to withstand failure and rejection, I'm actually cultivating my self-confidence. I'm building my self-confidence to a point where I can overcome that fear of disconnection, of judgment, and I will persist through it. So, you know, I would just say that if you really believe in what you're doing and you really believe that, you know, it can become bigger than what it is, then you have to persist. You have to be patient. You have to understand that your frustration and your impatience is progress. That every no that you get, or every person that doesn't understand it, is just one closer to the 1 or the 10 that are going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it again goes back to catabolic or more destructive levels of energy, and anabolic or more constructive or positive stages of energy. And you can look up a book by a guy named Bruce D. Schneider. He's got a whole Ramseyan empire about core energy leadership. And he wrote a book called Energy Leadership. And it talks about these two kinds of energy and the different levels or stages of energy that people go in and out of and across the spectrum all day, every day. But again, it's about heightening your awareness and getting yourself to be aware of where you're at in the spectrum, and being able to move yourself from the lower, more catabolic levels of energy to the higher, more anabolic states of energy. And then once you're able to sort of master that for yourself, which is a feat, then you also can start heightening your awareness and understanding where other people are. And from a business standpoint, that's helpful because, you know, if I'm at a level 5 and you're at a level 2, you're not at a stage of energy where we're going to be doing any business together. So if I'm aware that that's where we're at, and I have the toolbox to help bring you closer to my level of energy, then all of a sudden we're in a place where we can exchange ideas and be innovative together. There's not judgment. There's not.
So here's where the
conflict.
part of the challenge is. I'm a licensed massage therapist, and massage is thought of within that box. Massage therapists often cannot afford a single session with me because they look at it and say, well, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
How do I show them what I do? Other than video.
Well, I mean, the other thing that you can do is just build a tribe of people who are passionate and are influencers who are going to talk about what you do. So
the influencer thing is difficult.
Well, but maybe instead of trying to get, you know, massage therapists to buy into what you do, you just get enough people to buy into what you do, and you're successful enough at it that other massage therapists start to go, well, wait a minute, what's he doing over there?
So here's what happens in Texas right now, and I tell people this all the time. People in my city, currently, there's a huge swath that won't listen. And here's when they will listen. When I'm making over 6 figures a year, and I'm traveling to other cities and states, they'll value it. When it's no longer available. Because I'm busy.
Mm-hmm. But if you follow this long-term strategy of yours, where you're creating a passive income, where you come up with a curriculum that does not require you to be present, but you are able to maintain and protect the method and, you know, copyright or trademark the method, you know, then, I mean, you know, look at, again, I go back to yoga, like, you know, Bikram yoga was a specific kind of yoga that I'm presuming man or woman
He's on my wall over here,
right,
Bikram Choudhury.
So he came up with this deal, right? Enough people bought into it and thought it was great. he became successful enough at it. Do you think he himself trained every single Bikram yoga instructor? No, he
Or not
didn't.
alone.
We're not alone. So you build a tribe. I mean, at some point, and then again, what happens is a lot of these innovative ideas and products and services, they get big. People start to copy them. They're reinvented. Companies blow up. Uber cannot be denied one of the great innovations of our time. But they've got horrible labor dispute issues. And the reason they're fighting with all of these governments on regulation and all that kind of stuff is because if they have to classify their drivers as employees, it breaks down the model. So that's what that's all about.
And
it's
not
about
the thing is, I really look at it, because I really look at it sometimes with what I'm doing long term is, can I disrupt the massage industry?
That's what you have to do. And there are a number of different ways you can go about doing it. It's about figuring out who is it that I'm trying to reach, what is it I'm trying to get them to do, and what are the resources that I have available to do it. So it might be that you don't have the resources to change the mind of the industry, but you can change the mind of the consumer enough that it grows your business to a point where people just start to take notice of you.
Yeah.
And that's what I would leave you with.
Just Thai massage, just mat-based body work. There was no facility in all of Austin that focused on just mat-based body work. And I always ask, why? For instance, we know there's a kind of work that's aquatic, which is called Watsu. Watsu is a brand. And what they do is they float you in a warm kind of saltwater pool and do manual therapy, but in water.
How did they get to be popular? How did they get to be a thing?
The thing is, but there's no facility
but what I would push
that you can go get a Watsu session.
But that's what I'm saying is what I would push you towards is read the stories of, some people, if you know my politics and you know me, you might be very surprised that I would ever recommend you go read the book by the guy Hobby Lobby, the Hobby Lobby guy, or the Chick-fil-A guy.
Yeah.
Because socially my politics aren't in alignment with their values.
Yeah.
But I cannot discredit that they built gigantic businesses on the principles of their values. Now, they're not my values, and I might even choose not to eat there or shop there, but doesn't mean millions of other people won't go shop there and eat there. And so, again, I go back to you stolen from me, you've stolen twice. And if you want to be successful at something, go to other people who have been successful with it and see how they did it. And it doesn't have to be the same industry. You can learn these lessons.
That's what I did. I had to go outside.
But you just said to me, though, this aquatic deal, it's a thing. Somehow it's a thing.
Now, it's a thing to me, but I'm within my industry.
Sure,
if you ask somebody down the street, they're like, what?
But you respect it enough. You're in the industry, and you respect it enough that you know what it is, and there are probably tens and hundreds or, whatevers of you
because
that are like that.
Because it took Massage Envy time to build this box. And what did I say? The next 20 years, it goes artisanal.
Well, and this box isn't this size. That box is this size. And that's the lesson in all of this is, quit thinking so narrowly about, what the actual opportunity is. When you push yourself to a more anabolic or positive level of energy, you don't cave to things like fear and shame and, and guilt. All you see is opportunity. Everything is an opportunity. You don't cave to blame. You don't cave to control. You are open to collaboration and innovation. That's the space where this stuff happens. And if you are surrounding yourself with catabolic energy, that's where you're going to live. If you find anabolic energy, that's where you will thrive. And that's the lesson of it. But you have to be aware of that, and you have to know where you fall.
The entire development of what I do as Reboot, without Thai massage, there would be no Reboot. But Thai massage is this traditional art that I kept tweaking and morphing and tweaking and morphing and tweaking and morphing to get better client results and to improve business. And I finally tweaked it enough where the people who were religious about this said, this is Thai massage. And I went, well, what I do is this. And I was like, well, maybe it isn't the same thing. What the hell is it? And that was where I had to go, okay, you need a new name to be able to express what you're doing. And I don't even call Reboot massage. Like, I get tired of the word massage. But what other category do you have in a Western cultural context? Which is where you start to play with words. It's like, what is Coke? It's like, well, Coke is a soda.
Or is it a pop?
Depending on where you live in the U.S. Because soda and pop are commodities, Coke is a brand. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm going, is like as a brand.